Did you know that singer and songwriter Joni Mitchell is currently punished by an unknown sickness that doctors argue even exists? She has lived through many tragedies in her lifetime, from giving up her daughter because of poverty to being hated by the same child for whom she sacrificed everything. But the question is, why are all of these happening? Is it just happenstance or due to something she did in her past? And why has Joni and her estranged daughter refused to make peace? Let's find out while showing you some of her rare photos. Joni Mitchell started life in the worst way possible. It is still considered a miracle that she even survived and then could build a successful career from all of that. At the age of 9, Mitchell was diagnosed with child polio, and this forced her to be confined to a bed for extended periods. To relieve her stress, Joni became addicted to smoking cigarettes in packs, and this would affect her in the later years of her life. Joni learned and practiced the guitar with her own tunings because polio made her left hand very weak. And although she loved music, she wanted nothing to do with it. She hated piano classes, and that was part of the reason why she wanted music to stay as a hobby. Her true passion was painting, and for it, she pushed herself through high school even after dropping out so many times. After high school graduation, Joni moved to Alberta, Canada to study painting, but she was shocked at the situation there. She found out that there were many rules of free art, and you were almost persecuted if you tried anything with your creativity. Mitchell revealed that she hated every moment of it, but she continued until she became pregnant. Pregnancy forced her out of school and turned her into her parents' enemy. She became a mother in February 1965, and seeing that she couldn't provide for herself and her daughter, she gave her up for adoption. Her name was Kelly Dale Anderson, and this was a secret she wanted to take to the grave. To avoid starving, Joni started looking for ways to survive off her musical talent. She played and sang for nightclubs, coffee shops, and local department stores. Still, this wasn't enough. But one night in 1967, Mitchell played for a club in Coconut Grove, California, and David Crosby walked in. The American singer was immediately blown away by her musical abilities, and he flew her back to Los Angeles with the desire to make her a star. She was signed to the Warner's affiliated Reprise label, and with them, she released her debut album, Joni Mitchell. Joni worked very hard to promote this album with local and international tours, and in no time she dropped another LP, Clouds. All the hard work paid off, and Clouds earned her a Grammy Award for Best Folk Performance. She followed this success with another hit album, Ladies of the Canyon. Ladies of the Canyon was an instant bang, and it eventually became Mitchell's first gold album, selling over 500,000 copies. But for some reason, in the heat of all this fame, Mitchell decided to drop the microphone and just focus on writing and painting. So for many months, nobody could say what had become of Joni Mitchell, but we were all comforted by her comeback. She made her return with the hit album Blue, released in June 1971. This album was her breakthrough project, as it had her name in all the best places in the industry. While Joni enjoyed the fame of her new life, secretly she missed her daughter. But both mother and daughter were going to meet again through an unprecedented event. Mitchell found her daughter following a betrayal from an old friend. You see, the singer had already decided to keep her daughter a secret, until a college friend sold the story of her adoption to a tabloid. Then the media did the rest. It happened that at that time, 30-year-old Killorn Gibb was also looking for her mother, and that was how they reunited. However, Joni would soon find out that her daughter's name was not the only thing about her that changed. She also didn't like her as much now that she was all grown up. They argued a lot, and after a few years they separated. Rumors flew around that Joni allegedly slapped Gibb during a heated argument, and that was why she left her. However, Mitchell reported that her daughter was suffering from abandonment issues and needed time alone to sort herself out. Anyway, by 2013, the singer announced that the bad blood was finally over and mother and daughter were together again. She was pretty rough on me and conscripted my granddaughter, but we've worked through all of that. We reminisced about all the little tricks we pulled and the ways we can hurt each other. That's over, Joni Mitchell on her relationship with her daughter. Mitchell is saddened by people who write that she gave up her daughter because she wanted musical success. This was never it. While performing without a child gave her the freedom to tour wherever she wanted, Joni only had her child up for adoption because she wanted her to have a better life. Around this time also, Joni was also going through heavy criticism by the media, who believed that her voice was being affected by her heavy smoking. Journalist Robin Egger went further to describe her as the world's greatest smoker. Mitchell started smoking at the age of 9, and since then, she has struggled to stop. In a 2007 interview, the singer described smoking as one of her greatest pleasures, and that just explained why she defied many doctors' reports to continue indulging in the habit. In the end, Joni excused her terrible habits as being the reason why her voice had a limited range. According to her, singers often lose the upper register when they pass 50. Anyway, some of Joni Mitchell's most notable recordings include Sex Kills, River, A Case of You, Ethiopia, and Night of the Iguana, among many others. With a career spanning over 8 decades, Joni Mitchell is a recipient of many awards, including 11 Grammy Awards and induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. Joni Mitchell had one problem throughout her career: the love she gave was never reciprocated. We saw it with her fans, we saw it with her own daughter, and it also played out in the men she gave her heart to. Her first love was with Brad McMath. Brad was the perfect boyfriend until Joni became pregnant. He suggested that she abort the baby, but Mitchell feared the risk and quickly decided against that. After the birth of her daughter, Brad abandoned them, and that was how that romance ended. Took a long time, but Mitchell found love again with New York City-born American folk singer Charles Scott. Their shared love for music was part of what kept this relationship going, and by the following year, 21-year-old Joni Mitchell tied the knot with Charles in an official ceremony in his hometown. The couple was seen together performing in area coffee houses, restaurants, and art galleries. However, this romance was not going to last. After 3 years, the marriage and partnership of Joni and Chuck Mitchell ended in a nasty divorce, and that was how the singer moved to New York City to continue her career as a solo music artist. Joni's adventurous music style led her to the arms of bassist and sound engineer Larry Klein. This romance watered Joni's love for jazz-infused compositions, and this can be seen in albums like Wild Things Run Fast and Chalkmark in a Rainstorm. With the success of their collaborations, Joni and Larry decided to cement their creative synergies with a ring. The couple tied the knot in 1982, and after 12 years, their love fizzled out and they divorced. However, they maintained admiration and respect for each other's talent, but this was going to be the last time Joni would say yes to a man. Another painful highlight of this marriage was that the singer had to live through an ugly miscarriage at the age of 42. She was in her first trimester, and her mother described it as a very painful memory for the actress. Mitchell has also been romantically linked to David Crosby, Graham Nash, James Taylor, Leonard Cohen, and Warren Beatty. All the troubles in her personal life and career led Joni to seek comfort in drugs, and by 1975 she was already addicted to cocaine. She credits the drug as the inspiration behind the writing of her 1976 album Hejira, but she was going to pay for it dearly. For many years, Mitchell sought a lasting solution to her addiction, but many of them were fruitless. She tried hours in therapy and rehabilitation centers, but it was a strong one to break. It would take so many years before she announced that she was finally free from cocaine. According to her, it caused her bouts of insomnia, and the last time Joni felt this way was when she was writing her breakthrough album Blue. Blue was the turnaround album for Joni Mitchell, but she revealed that the writing was not something she looked back at with a smile. The album was inspired by the many troubles in her life, from her many turbulent romances to the giving up of her child because of poverty. Speaking to biographer David Gaff, Joni revealed that she wrote Blue with all of her guts out. The album exposed all of her vulnerabilities in a way that sometimes Mitchell was overwhelmed with a sense of empathy and insight. I could see painfully things about people that I didn't want to know, Joni said about the album. I'd just look at a person and I'd know too much about them that I didn't want to know. And because everything was becoming so transparent, I felt I must be transparent and I cried. Fortunately, the album compensated her with wealth and fame, but Joni was still not satisfied. She had struggled to pen the songs. Now she had to fight through the same things whenever she had to perform in front of an audience. As she revealed, performing her songs in Blue took an emotional toll on her and made her question everything she knew to be true. It was almost diagnosed as a mental illness or some form of identity crisis. Speaking about this time, Joni said, "I just hit that pocket that everyone does at some point in their journey through their lives. That identity crisis, that who am I really? If you're lucky, it hits you early, like me." She survived Blue, but the scars that inspired her, she would have to carry to the grave. Sometime in 2015, Joni was found unconscious in her home. When she was rushed to the hospital, diagnosis revealed that she had a brain aneurysm, an abnormal swelling in an artery in the brain. This condition left Mitchell unable to speak or walk, much less play the guitar. It was a long road to recovery, as the singer revealed that she had to teach herself the guitar all over again by watching old videos of herself to see where she placed her fingers. David Crosby, in an early report, argued that the singer still couldn't walk or speak, but this was refuted by Mitchell's representatives, who stated that the singer was speaking and hearing well, just that she couldn't still walk. According to them, she was placed under extensive therapy. It was hard to watch Joni go through these dark moments alone, and this made people question her claimed reconciliation with her daughter. Also, for some reason, Gibb was not allowed to make her medical decisions for her mother in 2015 after she was hospitalized for a brain aneurysm. Slowly, Mitchell has returned to the spotlight, and even doctors described it as a miracle. In October 2020, Mitchell confessed to The Guardian that the effects of the aneurysm were more devastating than the polio that crippled her as a child. Polio didn't grab me like that, but the aneurysm took away a lot more, really. Took away my speech and my ability to walk. And you know, I got my speech back quickly, but the walking I'm still struggling with, she said. While the singer was still celebrating victory over a brain aneurysm, a mysterious, incurable illness was coming to steal her joy again. For years now, Joni has kept this part of her life away from the media, but in a recent interview, she opened up about a sickness that she would have to deal with for the rest of her life. It is called Morgellons disease, and doctors don't understand it any better than she does. Maya Clinic described it as a controversial, unexplained skin condition characterized by small fibers or other particles emerging from skin sores. Mitchell, speaking on the disease, revealed that if she was ever going to leave the stage, it would be because of this unknown ailment. She believes that Morgellons sufferers don't get the credibility they deserve, and she's going to use her influence to change that. I have this weird, incurable disease that seems like it's from outer space, Joni shared. Fibers in a variety of colors protrude out of my skin like mushrooms after a rainstorm. They cannot be forensically identified as animal, vegetable, or mineral. Joni Mitchell, now 80 years old, celebrates a life well lived. The singer has left a solid legacy in the industry with her longevity and adventurous musical exploits. Things are far from what they used to be, but last we heard, Mitchell is still very close with her guitar. The singer and songwriter has an estimated net worth of $100 million. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears on the end screen below. As always, thanks for watching.